Welcome back to the Explainer. Today, we're doing a bit of time travel. We are jumping straight from an 18th century factory floor right into your modern digital shopping cart. We're going to trace this really fascinating line to see exactly how our relentless pursuit of productivity evolved, starting from a brilliant physical division of labor all the way to what modern researchers are now calling algorithmic exploitation.
Okay, let's dive right in by asking you a super simple question. Imagine you had to make a single dress pin entirely from scratch. You have to draw the wire, straighten it, cut it, point it, and grind the head, all by yourself. How many do you think you could actually make? Could you make 20 in a single day? If we're being honest, with no training and no idea how to use the specialized machinery, the answer is almost certainly no. You'd be lucky to make even one.
Part 1. The humble dress pin and Adam Smith's vision. To fully grasp why this matters, we need to travel back to the Georgian era, specifically to the year 1776, with the legendary economist Adam Smith. He realized that observing the manufacture of a tiny, seemingly insignificant object like the humble dress pin could literally unlock the secrets of the Industrial Revolution. He used the pin factory as a perfect microcosm of the massive economic transformations that were sweeping across the globe.
Section 2. 18 operations in the pin factory.
Let's actually step onto that factory floor and see how this builds into an incredible system of specialized labor. Smith saw that making a pin wasn't just one job. Actually, it was a highly complex sequence of steps. Just look at how meticulously the work is broken down. One person draws out the wire, another straightens it, a third cuts it to the exact length, a fourth points the tip, and a fifth person grinds the top of the pin just so it's perfectly prepped to receive the head. And the final steps are just as hyper-specific. Making the head of the pin actually requires 2 or 3 distinct operations all on its own. Then attaching that head is a completely separate job. Whitening the metal, another unique step. And finally, it's an entirely different trade just to package those finished pins into paper. In total, Smith observed that the seemingly simple business of making a single pin is divided into about 18 distinct operations. 18!
Part 3. The math of productivity and the division of labor.
So, the crucial question is, what happens to human output when work is intensely divided like this? What happens when each person focuses on just 1 or 2 of those 18 operations? Well, it brilliantly illustrates a stark contrast. Remember our lone untrained worker struggling to make 20 pins a day? Smith observed a small factory where a coordinated team of just 10 specialized men cranks out 12 pounds of pins. That's roughly 48,000 pins daily.
Let's do the math on that. It means each specialized worker in that 10-man team is personally responsible for producing 4,800 pins every single day. That is an absolute explosion in productivity, jumping from maybe 1 pin a day to nearly 5,000, entirely because of the division of labor.
Smith identified 3 key reasons for this massive surge in output. First, workers drastically hone their skills and dexterity when they repeat one simple action all day long. Second, they save a tremendous amount of time by not having to switch tools or move between workstations. And third, focusing entirely on one small task naturally inspires workers to invent labor-saving machines, to make their one specific job a little easier.
Section 4. The interconnected world, beyond the factory.
But here's the thing. This division of labor isn't just about pins. It fundamentally weaves our entire society together. Take a simple woolen coat worn by a common-day laborer. Producing that single coat requires a vast, interconnected network. You need shepherds, wool sorters, spinners, weavers, dyers, transporters, even the tool makers who built the machines for all of them. They are all deeply relying on each other's specialized, distinct operations to produce one final good. Smith famously noted that the division of labor is limited by the extent of the market. Basically, larger markets can support even greater specialization. And this perfectly hints at the massive, infinitely complex global economy we navigate today. The more interconnected we are, the deeper those 18 operations of the pin factory can go.
Part 5. Dollar voting and directing the market. As this complex market expanded from the Georgian era into modernity, economists started asking a pretty important question. If the workers are just making tiny parts of things, who actually decides what gets made? Enter public choice theory, popularized by folks like James M. Buchanan, and a concept called dollar voting. It views economic participation almost like a pure democracy. Every single time you buy something, you are essentially casting a democratic vote. You're choosing the economic winners and losers, signaling to the market what should be produced next.
However, this idea definitely has its critics. The biggest issue? Dollar voting can be extremely class-bound. Put simply, the rich have a lot more votes to spend. They can direct resources toward expensive, niche markets, think slow food or highly customized eco-friendly goods, which doesn't always reflect the needs of lower-income consumers. Some even view organized dollar voting as a sort of consumer vigilantism that entirely bypasses actual democratic lawmaking. Section 6. Personalization and the dark side. This brings us seamlessly to the shadowy side of this incredibly efficient market system. Even back in 1776, Adam Smith saw the potential dangers here. He warned that excessive specialization could lead to the mental mutilation of factory workers who were stuck doing monotonous, repetitive tasks all day. It was an incredibly early warning about the human casualties of pure, unbridled efficiency.
Fast forward to today, and academic research from Tilburg University shows that this ruthless pursuit of efficiency has shifted. It's moved away from the factory floor and directly into manipulating our minds as consumers.
Think about it like this. Just as Smith saw physical labor broken down into 18 highly specific operations, dominant tech firms now break down your psychology into hyper-specific data points. It's wild. It's been reported that Uber is aware when your phone battery is dying, which theoretically allows them to surge the price right when you are most desperate for a ride. Platforms use hyper-nudging to secretly channel your attention. They even analyze your typing speeds to detect if you're nervous and profile your vulnerabilities using your ocean personality traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism.
This deeply manipulative practice is defined in the research as personalized exploitation, and it completely shatters that idea of consumer sovereignty we just talked about. I mean, if a platform is using your dying phone battery or your personal psychological traits against you, you aren't freely voting with your dollars anymore, right? Instead, you're being actively manipulated, and the value shifts away from you directly into the pockets of the dominant tech firm.
So how do we fix it? The researchers at Tilburg University argue that our modern competition and antitrust laws just aren't equipped for this. They propose adopting a personalized welfare standard. This means instead of just looking at whether a market is efficient overall, lawmakers need to look at whether specific, vulnerable individuals are being exploited by personalization. They need to step in to protect our actual freedom of choice.
So as we trace this fascinating line from the 18 meticulous operations of Adam Smith's pin factory to today's perfectly targeted, personalized digital marketplace, we have to ask ourselves a pretty vital question. In an economy where data tracks your ever-moving mood to maximize efficiency, are you still making your own choices? Or is the market now perfectly engineered to choose for you? Think about that.